Yeah, it's great to be here. I think re-establish the practice of MEPs attending this committee. I think it's very useful for me anyway, and I hope we can share ideas. I have two questions. One on the accession, which was touched upon earlier, and there is a debate in the European institutions about moving away from a sort of technocratic approach to accession, which is based on full compliance with the Copenhagen criteria, to a more political approach, which would allow for the fact that maybe some of the accession candidates are not necessarily up to the full compliance. And I know the EU in 2022 is very different to what it was when we joined the EEC 50 years ago. But we were a country that was very poor. We were not quite as socially progressive as we are now, and in a heightened state of tension around conflict on the island of Ireland in 1972 when we joined. And yet we absolutely blossomed. I think we're a poster boy for accession, and we've demonstrated convergence can happen within the European Union. So I think that debate is going on in the EU institutions right now to move away from that technocratic approach. So my question really to Ivana particularly is this, is if the European Council doesn't grant accession candidate status to Ukraine at its June European Council meeting, what is the reaction going to be politically among in Ukraine? What is the reaction of the people going to be, particularly if the sixth sanctions package has still not passed, which is quite likely because the US introduced an oil sanction embargo on the 8th of March, and we still haven't done anything. We've been talking about it for 3 months, and we still haven't done anything about it. So if we don't grant accession status and we don't manage to deliver the sixth sanctions package, do you think there's going to be, well, I think there will be a negative reaction. Perhaps you could go into that in a bit more detail. The second question is about the humanitarian response. And Ivan, again, you mentioned earlier on about the Red Cross, that it's been an unexpected low level of performance, and UN agencies are not present. And that's very worrying because obviously the Red Cross has attracted donations of 35 million euro in this country, which is unprecedented. And it's really important that they deliver at this time. But they have to comply with the humanitarian principles of independence and neutrality and impartiality. They have to comply with that. It's a very clear mandate. But I've heard from a lot of Ukrainian MPs who are frustrated by the International Committee of the Red Cross, the ICRC, because they have had meetings with Sergei Lavrov, because they have had they've opened an office in Rostov in Russia. But they quite rightly say that they have to do this in order to have the authority and credibility to do prisoner exchanges, humanitarian corridors, and to visit Ukrainian prisoners in Russian territory. So, I mean, maybe you could elaborate on what the attitude is now to the ICRC and whether there is maybe an understanding of the position, the mandate that they hold, or is the frustration really about failure to deliver in terms of programming, given the massive donations that the Irish public has made and the European public has made over the last couple of months? Thanks.